Okay, so patch management. Yeah, got to patch our machines. We don't want to get viruses, get hacked, whatever. So under Home is patch management, and that will take you to here. There's all kinds of stuff. Software updates, assessment scans, compliance, reports. So let's take a look at that. So let's do compliance by computer. See what we got. No results. Probably because we have no assessment scans ran, which makes total sense. Let's go to run assessment system assessment scan every 4 hours on these machines. All right. Okay. So very, very initial, at least in version 7.6, we would go to patch from here. If you notice, it tells you right here. So you have to import patch data. So PM import will be done for whichever OS you choose to set up. So let's go manage. That's under jobs and tasks. All right. System, jobs and tasks, software, patch management. Yep, all this is still the same as 7.6. Okay. Let's see, incremental. Delete previously downloads. There's different options you can do. Automatically revise software updates after importing. Enable distribution of newly added. Disable all superseded software updates. These are all little things you can do. Delete previously downloaded data for vendors, software, and language packs are now excluded. And we're going to leave that alone. All right. Let's go save our changes up top. Import of available vendors, software and languages not started. So we're going to go ahead and start that over here. We're going to click update. And it should tell you right across here what it's doing. There we go. And this is more than just Microsoft patches. It'll show other software. You have to look into them. Sometimes it's not patching. It is a direct software replacement. So you can consider it a software delivery. But if you have change controls and stuff to do, you can also look at getting stuff out as a patch if it's easier in your environment to do that. All right. So we're going to let this run. Visual Studio, Firefox. Maybe I'll even later on try and patch like Chrome or something. We'll deploy Chrome and patch it. Here's WinZip. SQL Server. So you can automate this schedule to go off. Typically what I've done before is I've ran it every Thursday morning. So Microsoft used to be called Patch Tuesday, second Tuesday of the month, and I would do my import on that Thursday. Right now I have it manually because of the current patches and stuff that's going on. I don't want a PM import to come in and update anything I have set up, because then I have to go back through all my testing and everything. So right now it's manual. Thunderbird browser. All right, so that is done. It'll give us a list. So now these are all of the items you can download for Yahoo, Wireshark, WinZip, Splunk, Skype, RealVNC, Notepad++. So for now, we're going to uncheck all. Now, you can, if you wanted to, go under Microsoft and say, you know what, just show me patches for, let's go, Windows. You can choose specifics that you want. The problem I find is if an update happens, so let's look for Windows. I saw it appear 10. Okay, so see how, let's say you were on LTSB right here, and the last PM import to happen, if you switch to 1607, you would not have the patch listing for it. So what I found is collapse all, come in here, just check off all Microsoft, just makes it easier. Save changes. Okay, so now we have the listing. That's what this first portion is for. Now we're going to go ahead and set up a schedule. We're going to schedule every, like I said, I would do the second Tuesday, Thursday. Repeat every one. Look at that. Repeat every so many weeks. It's interesting. And look, I have 852 software releases to import. I'm just going to do it every one. Geez. Every, I guess we'll do every 4 weeks. No, you know what? I have no idea. That's catching me off guard there. There's no month. So that's fine. We'll just every 4 weeks. Actually, for now, we're just going to run now. We're not going to set up an actual schedule to go out. It's a lab. So it's running. If you click it, click properties, you can actually see what it's doing. So that is running. There's your PM import.xml. Okay. This is 224. I'm going to let this run. I'll be back. Let's see how quick this is going to go. All right, it's going to take a while. All right, we'll let it go, and we'll be back. Well, it's been running for 15.5 minutes, and it's still going. It's 25 of 32, importing software updates, 32 of 164. So we got a long ways to go. Now, just so you know, this is not copying the software down. This is not bringing all the patches down. So what you can do is if you go into your Altiris directory, instead of notification server nscab, now it's going to be patch management, packages. Maybe they've changed it. Windows agent is there. They used to have, right, here's downloads. They used to have an updates folder, maybe because I haven't gotten that far yet. So what you'll do is you'll actually see, I bet it'll show up in here in an updates folder, or in the downloads. Nah. So anyway, we haven't gotten that far, so it's not here yet. All right, we'll let this keep running in the background for now. So, an hour and 38 minutes. Says it's up. There we go. So, It took an hour and 38 minutes. Just finished as I came down. Alright, let's see. Okay, so now that is done. We hit refresh, you'll see it's completed. Now, if we go to patch management, there's two different ways to get to it. There's this one that shows all this stuff. This isn't really my favorite view. I like on Actions, Software, Patch Remediation Center. Alright, so it's doing its thing. As you see, it still says Red Hat, Cent, and SUSE, which we don't use. So now look, now we have all kinds of stuff listed here. Now, if we sort by revised, we can go back. Alright, so this view shows you all the normal stuff like this. So it's also about learning what these stand for, what each one is. Like this is Adobe Flash Player. Every month it'll be MS for the year, Microsoft the year, the month, and then what it is. This one's AFP. So here's Windows 10. So the easiest thing that I do, MS 18.0, that'll filter it out. Alright. So there is a new Adobe Flash Player one, and so the other thing to look at, excuse me, MR is a monthly roll-up, and up here is security only. Well, security only will give you the security patches. The monthly will give you everything including optional, from what I believe. That's what I was told. So I always do SOs and IE. Where's .NET? Here's the .NET. Same thing. The security and quality roll up for .NET, and then just the security update for .NET. Now that we have this, we can actually, I wonder if we can, patch management, let's go over this window again. Compliance, run system, assessment scan. Can we force these to run now? Let's see. I don't see a now button. Execute scan immediately on clients when this policy is first received or when the policy is modified. So, all we got to do to modify it is say 4 minutes, hit save, 4 minutes, go back to hours. Once you hit save, that should constitute modify. So let's come in here. Here it is right here. Now it's set to go to 8 p.m. tonight, every 4 hours. But let's do an update config. No. Assessment scan did not run. Alright, well let's take a look at jobs and tasks. See if there's an assessment scan that we can force. Alright. Here we go. See that? So what we're going to do, since it's something that we're going to use, when I find stuff down in the whole folder structure I like, run system assessment scan on test lab. And we'll right click, we'll move it because we have that filtered up there, so we just do that. We can actually close out so we can see everything up here. New schedule. Now add computers or devices. We can just choose them all like this. Say schedule, and now they should go out now. Take a look, they're all running. If we check our machine, it's not showing in this window, but let's do, here it is. This is how you can tell right here. It's running. And it says succeeded, so that's telling me it's done. So it says success return code 0. Software updates. So we don't have any real software updates yet, but the reason why you want to get the assessment scan done is now reports all reports. Let's do close this. Patch. There's a compliance by bulletin. Actually, we're going to buy computer. Get a better idea what's needed. So initially, when you're trying to patch, trying to figure out what you want to patch and how you want to patch it and all that can be cumbersome. But once you start, you get somewhere, you know, and then you can figure out what's remaining, what needs to be done. Figure out what structure you want, which you want to do the monthly, or just security only, or the full roll up. So if we look here, let's see, server's got 35 applicable, 8. So see, some of them are installed, some are not. So let's do admin PC, 9 not installed. This is Windows 10. The nice thing, applicable. So we look through this list, okay? So if I do this Windows 10, that'll get 2 patches out. There's a Silverlight. There's this guy. There's all these different patches. So it's challenging. At work, we don't do a lot of these. We don't do the IVAs. We just do the critical stuff, even though these are listed as critical. We do the main OS, .NET IE, you know, what we can. Now let me think about, all right. Let's go. Patch management back on this page. One of these will show you how many, where you would actually download the patches. Will tell you how many it would target. Applies to. See, here we go. So now if we sort the applies to, see? So now you would really, if you wanted to patch everything, this is how you would do it. You know, you can see. You can also group them by bulletin, updates. If you say bulletin, oh, there's a lot. Yeah, it's not a good idea for that view. Yeah, it's too tough to understand. We'll go back, just leave group by alone. We'll go back to applies to. So Adobe, let's see, this one says it applies to all. So these apply to all machines. Let's see, what are they? Oh, you can also, right here, between here and here, this will actually shove it that way, give you more room. Okay. Let's see. Update to disable mitigation against Spectre. Windows Security updates released an antivirus. Oh, it's antivirus, Adobe Flash. Alright, so it's a lot of software here. So you know what I'm going to do? I don't care. I'm just going to go ahead and do them all. Yeah, see if I can scroll down to where there are none. Wow, that's a lot of updates. $15 to $20. What is this guy? Now see, from here you can't see what you can only. All right, so that's why I like the other view for a certain amount of things, which is Actions, Software, Patch Remediation Center. This allows you to right click and see which one were we looking at. Okay, any of these. So we'll do MS 15132. MS 15 132. Okay. All right. Hey, that's a lot of files. All right. So for now, I guess what I'm going to do, let's do, let's see. I'm just going to do, here we go again. A lot of these 0 targets, so still applies to. And 2018, 27. So it would be nice to be able to, all right. Now, you know what though? If I'm not mistaken, some of these will supersede the other. So you should take it slow. So what we're going to do is, since these are applicable, I will go, let's see. This is flash and the one up there is flash. I'm not going to do 2 flashes. All right. So for sake, and these are named 1 and 2 and they do have different descriptions. So we're just going to do these couple right here. Alright, so we're going to download those packages. Now, you could have right-clicked and you could have chose distribute and it'll bundle them all together in one policy. You can call it February deployment, call it whatever you want. I do them individually. It is a pain at first. It is nice though. Let me come back over here. Delete that row. Let's do, okay, these are all revised. Let me do MS 1801. So this is, oh, okay, so I have no Server 2008, Windows 7, Server 2012. I have server, there we go. So Windows 10 is for Windows 10 and Server 2016. So why? Okay, these are done. Now maybe, oh, it's not as applicable to as many. So here it is right here. All but one. Oh, because we have a Server 2012 R2. So we'll also do this one. Download. That one I could have right-clicked and said distribute. So which one is Server 2012? R2. So it's the 8.1. So I could do SO81, but I want to do the whole month. So I'll do MR. Yep, it's downloading a gig. So it's going to take a little while. I can download over here. Actually, I'll say distribute over here, just to show you the difference. I mean, still, it comes up to the window. Choose your targets. So before we actually, I'm going to cancel that. I'm just going to download it. I'll show you why. So before you do, there's different mindsets on patching, and I'll show you the different ways. So one of the mindset is when you set up a patch to go, you can actually set the target there, you can set the date, the time, and everything. The problem with doing that is you have to edit that to do, if you don't do enterprise, let's say you do your pilot machines, then a production pilot, then enterprise pilot, you got to edit that thing 3 times. So the better way of doing this, which I'll show you those settings when we get to that, is what I like doing. Once again, create my own folder. And test lab. So put it right up at the top. All right, so now what we want to do is go down here, software, patch, Windows. That's remediation. Did they move that on me? All right. Windows System Assessment Scan. Software Patch Management should be right here. Unless, no, it wouldn't be up here. That might be. Software Patch. Aha, no, that's Agent. Here's what I want. So this policy right here, you see you can't assign computers to it. You tell it what date and time you want software to go. So let's say you want to deploy this on a Wednesday or something. Just put 2018 in there so we can get the right calendar. So here we go. So today's the 10th. Let's say we want it to go Monday. You would click here. At what time? How many times it would reinstall? You could do daily, weekly, what day of the week. Let's say every Monday is the only day I want patches to go. Allow user to run. You would do that here. Notification. Notify user 1 minute new software ready installed. Restart. Never. Notify user about restart. You must. They've changed this. This was not like this. Can you delete it? Yes. Okay, no schedule. Let's see if it'll let us save it. Notify user. Allow user to defer. A system restart is required for. Now we'll leave default message. Save won't let us save it. Okay, it did. Now here is the kicker with this whole thing. Because you can't assign computers, it's every computer. But if you've got different computers, let's say you want to force reboot your client machines. Let's do, you right click, you clone it. We will call this Windows 10 Software Update Plugin. Windows 10 Patch Policy. Okay. We will enable it. We will actually set it for today. I'm trying to figure out how to get this to work, because usually you set it and you let it go for a while. So we will do, let's see, it's 4 o'clock. We'll do 1600, so hour and 40. Allows the user to run. Notify user 30 minutes. New software. Excuse me. Patches will be applied. Patches are ready to be applied. Restart. At the end of the cycle, force notify user, allow them to defer. Maximum deferral is up to 2 hours. This is required. A fort reboot will occur. Please save your work. Okay. Say save. Oh, let's go back to here. See the applies to. We now have an applies to. Recently used targets. We have none. So we go targets. See, I'm not used to this view. I'm not happy about this. We used to have a we used to be able to choose filters, but now they're forcing you to do targets. Target. Windows 10. Start with computer. Add rule. Exclude computers not in filter. Windows 10. Okay. Because this is our PCs, and we don't care if they force reboot. And then you could add rule exclude computer in, computer list. As you know, our admin PC is what we use, so theoretically, you can still have all the Windows 10s, but not all of them. You can specifically set some out. Oh, exclude computers in. There. So now we just got MB and Plex, but I want all of them. We'll say OK. All right. Can we move this up? No, it's not going to let us right now, is it? All right. Say OK. There's 3 machines. Save changes. And what we'll see on our client machine right here, it was 3 a.m. every Monday of the week starting February 12th. To update, this should change. Actually, I think that is what we set, right? Every Monday. Actually, it's 4 o'clock. Come on. Oh, it's on. Refresh. All right, we'll move that up there. We'll leave the default where it belongs. Update. There we go. 4 p.m. So there we go. We're good on that. So now our client is ready to go at 4. However, let's get back here. Still downloading Windows 10. So it's downloading all the versions of Windows 10. And this another instance is running, putting it to sleep. We'll stop this one. We'll get this one later. All right. All right. So let's change. I'm not going to make this time. Windows 10. Do 1800. Which is 6 now. Let's go later. Let's go 20. 8 p.m. Gives us 3.5 hours. Yeah, usually you set this for days out. And the other thing is, eventually, like, you might have Windows 10 patch policy, Windows XP, because yes, there's still patches in here for XP. Oh, actually, this is 8.1. I don't think it supports XP anymore. But Windows 7, you can have servers, you can have a certain building, a different group. You can have a whole mess of them. So the beginning of the month, you come in here and you set all your schedules. You come in here, you go, okay, you know what? I want this to go on the 10th. You know, you set all your schedules and save them all. And then you go download, because if you download and set up your patches and the machine checks in, it'll install then. So you have to be careful. Alright, this is on 12 of 21, and these are actually, let's take a look. Packages, updates. This wasn't here before. Yep, see, just created it as I was telling you. And here they all are. Up to 6.7 gig. Alright, so we'll just let these go. Minimize that. Alright, I'm going to let this go and we'll come back when it's ready. Okay, that one just finished up and I accidentally hit close before starting this. Let's go back. So I was also looking for the MR. So let's filter this out. MS 18. Might have to refresh. Actually, don't want to do that one. That's actually pretty cool. That never did that before. Cancel. How do we close? I don't care about that. Ah, no. Go back. Did not want that. So it looks like search items has some new stuff. All right. I forget what tabs we have. Let's see. All right, this is the policy. All right. MS 18. Oh, I'll put an 8 in there, huh? I said I was going to do the MR. I could put that in there too. MR81, this guy. Says applies to 0 though. So there's no, okay, so I'm not going to bother. We'll do updates and available. So we've already downloaded that one. Like I said, I don't think we have, I think the one supersedes the other one. There are reports for that. So anyway, okay, let's move on. So, distribute. Now, because we have a separate policy that controls what time, under the settings, what time things are going to go, whether they're going to reboot or not, we can take this patch policy applies to all machines. All right, turn that on, distribute. All right, so close that. We've also downloaded this one for Windows 10. Distribute this. We'll say next. And this is where you can uncheck the different versions. There's so many of them here. Right now, I don't care. In 6, you used to be able to right-click the patch here and do show, and you can delete individuals. So you didn't download them all. I mean, there might still be a way to do that. Space isn't really an issue on a lot of servers, so it's not usually a big deal to really care, but okay. So we have these 2 patches. And like I said, this window, it applies to once I know what patches I'm doing for the month. I usually jump back to this view anyway. And this is where I usually do my download and setup, and I'll show you why. Let's go ahead and refresh this side. So under software, patch management, when you click Patch Remediation Center and you download, even if you do them off the other tab, doesn't matter. The policies get placed under here under Windows. What I do, and this is up to you, once again, I create a folder, whatever you want to call it, and then I'll create, because there'll be other stuff. I mean, it could be stuff for app metering, so we'll call this patch, because these are policies. So like software deliveries I move, so patch management, new, folder 2018. So next month when I'm done, I'll move these into this folder, and then when I download the new ones for this month, they're in this Windows, so my team knows what's going out. If we want old ones, they're up here, they'll be enabled. Now, i.e. Windows 10 cumulative patches, they supersede each other. So you'll disable them each month. There's a cleanup method. Maybe I'll run through in a couple months. But right now, we're ready to go with these 2 patches. Let's see if I can get my machine to detect it at all. I think there's a job that needs to run up on the server. A scheduled task would actually clean up. So that's done. Software updates. Right. So in a little bit, the patches will start showing up, and we have them set up to go for 8 o'clock. Let's make sure this, yep, 8 p.m. All right. Let me see if I can burp the server along. That's 40 minutes on this video. I like keeping them shorter to an attention span. All right. Okay. Actually, I'm on the wrong server. It's this guy. So a lot of things are all based around scheduled tasks. Somebody's messaging me. Don't ignore them. All right, so admin tools, task scheduler. All right. So there are patch ones. Let's see. Patch remediation settings. Let's see. I'm not going to be able to figure it out, I don't think. Just might have to let it go on its own and do its thing. I could look it up online to figure it out. Clean up, resource membership update. That's probably not it. We'll run it. All right. Well, we'll just let this go. What we can do, close out of here, go back to our admin PC and go full screen. Check it in. Nothing. Come back over here. Settings. Resource membership. Update. Update. All right. Well, that was actually quick. All right. We're just going to let this sit, let it do its thing. So something's got to settle. I know, I should know it all. I should know the full series, but you know what? There's so much to this software, and when you're the only one that does every aspect, automation policies, reports, and software delivery, and patch, and custom inventories, app metering, there's a lot to remember. All right, so I'm gonna let this sit. We'll be back in a little while, see when this updates. So you gotta love it. Where to even start? So my test lab, I built the machines, and Microsoft, they're really ticking everybody off because they're just shoving patches down your throat. They're not letting companies handle stuff the way they want to, the way they need to, follow change controls, all that crap. It's really, really, really annoying. So, I'm sitting here waiting for my computer to show it. Well, if you were to go to C program files, Altiris agent, agents, patch management, there would be a file here that's this .csv once patches start being installed. So nothing's been installed on this machine yet. However, if you go, Microsoft already deployed patches to my machine. That's before I set up Altiris, before I got the agent on here. So I just thought of this. Actually, I'll show you. I just ran a report. So install, here we go. So these were installed today. Adobe Flash is right here, and here another Adobe Flash. Windows 10 cumulative update. There's the one I've been waiting for. So what I can do to show you, because this will never show here. So I went to compliance by bulletin and I looked and I'm like, okay, well, 50%. 6, 3 are installed, 3 are not. If you right click, say view not installed, it comes up with my list. And the list, come on, is my servers. Okay, fine. I can deal with that. At least I know what I can show you now. So we will go to SQL is one of them. Actually should be all 3, right? SQL, DC, and Altiris. SQL, DC, and Altiris. All right. Let's bring that one in. Update. Look, there it is. See? Oh, it's frustrating. But that's what we wanted. And set for 3 a.m. on the 12th. This guy here should also be the same. Yes, it is. We're going to fire it off now on those. See? This is annoying. I'm hoping that now that Altiris is installed and stuff, this goes away. So we're not going to install now. I didn't even hit install now on the other machines. So, you know, I'm not going to wait. I want Altiris to do it. So we're going to install here. Ah, look, there's our message. New software updates ready to install. Ready to apply. Remember, I gave it a countdown timer in case somebody's on the server. So install now. Install now. So here you could apply 15-minute rule or something. So if somebody's working on the server, they'll see it. They can know. They can install. Okay. Is there another message? No. All right. You can sort. You should. There it is. AX patch deployment. Up, installation in progress. Okay. That one's going as well. That's a little better. Okay. I'll let this go. And as soon as it's done, I'll show you what it looks like. And I'll show you that CSV file and whatnot. And we'll reboot. Okay, so this one's still going. This one's still going. This one, though, says restart pending. And look, here's that install log. It just got created. So what you can do, go to Notepad. Okay, what we got here? Word wrap. Attempt time, all this stuff succeeded. 3010. Successful pending reboot. So before we reboot, let's go to our admin PC. And there should be reports, all reports. Restart pending is what I wanted to see. That SQL box said yes, and there it is. That's what I wanted to see. And that makes sense because of this. So that's new. All right. Let's do a restart. Okay. So I'm going to pause it just so it doesn't just eat up the next 5-10 minutes. It took a while to get started. So now it's working on the updates. Boy, this is slow. I actually did some pausing in there. All right. I'll pause till it comes up. Well, I don't like that. That doesn't look good. Wow, this is going to be a horrible video. Okay, so go figure. This is my SQL server that failed. It's undoing changes. It rebooted. It's doing something, undoing changes. Well, I checked the other two and ran, yeah, you saw the updates were going. They finally finished. I reboot. They went through. And here we go. Installed MS 1801-W10. So it went on the DC just fine. It also went on my Altiris main server fine. The SQL box did not, but the SQL's up far enough where it's communicating. So let's see. Let's do a refresh on this report. Okay, so as we said, the DC went, and the Altiris DC, actually the server named Altiris, which is not an Altiris server, but let's see. Not installed. Alright. And we didn't target any of these. And that makes sense. Here's the bulletin names. I mean, I can deploy them. I may. Just right now, like I said, I was just targeting to main 2. So, and that's pretty much it. So you go through your list. You can also, that's compliance by computer. You can go by bulletin. By update is literally every little update. So you don't want to do that because that would be a lot. It'd be hard for you to really look through. So you can actually sort by compliance. So you can also, so you could actually use this to go, okay, we're 100%. I could hit this guy next. It's all my machines. So from here, distribute. That is right from the report. Look at that. All right, next. On, distribute. Now I'll actually show you how to, so right now, once assessment runs and this is actually targeted towards a machine, it won't go out immediately. So let's say, everything takes a little while and nothing, it's not all immediate. So assessment will run, things have got to run. But what will happen is, if it shows up in this list right here, it's really not going to go. 8 p.m. is the next time we have set. But if you wanted to, I'll show you how you can actually, you go back to manage policies. And you can actually assign specifics at the policy itself. So if we go patch, software update, Windows, look, now we have the third one. Now, to override, what you can do is run other than agent default as soon as possible. And by doing that, this will now bypass that window of whatever that under settings, whatever those policies. You could have a ton of policies. This is how you can kind of get like an emergency patch that needs to go now. It's still not going to show up immediately here, so it will go eventually. You can also show expired packages, and you should see. That's right, don't forget this one here did not install any of the Windows 10. Microsoft deployed it for me. So that's really it. I'm really dragging this out now. So there's reports. So we got to show some reports. We got to show some patches, how to do it this way, how to set up the other policies, how to download, and how to troubleshoot, and the install CSV file and everything else. So just shy of an hour. Hope you get something out of it. And I'll try and figure out what I'm going to do next. All right, bye.